Owens Moore again. I'm coming back with part two. These are the books that highlight Black culture that may be, more for our upper elementary, middle school, high school crowd. So I want to start with a couple of these. This is Magic City. It is by Jewel Parker Rhodes. Now, Jewel Parker Rhodes is best known for her book Ghost Boys, but this is a really good book. Again, about the Tulsa race massacre, and a lot of people again don't know about this, and they don't know about this book. It's very well written. I would say this is probably more middle school, high school, but it's an extremely good book, Magic City by Joel Parker Rhodes. The next book is Ain't Burned All the Bright. This is by Jason Reynolds, and it's the aftermath. It's in the midst of COVID, and in the midst of a lot of the social justice that was going on around the murder of George Floyd. The thing that I like so much about this book is that the images tell such a good story. So the words are by Jason Reynolds and the artwork is by Jason Griffin. And I so love this book that I actually ordered one of these pages to be my artwork that I have in my office. Just really powerful words. I mean, it's just, again, this is where that visual literacy comes in, where you're interpreting a lot of the images and things. And it's just a very good book. And this is one of the pages that I really like. And it says, and turns back to the television that seems to say too much. It's talking about how the TV, like that barrage of news and protests, just a fantastic book, a really great way to generate some good conversation. Another book that I have, this is by a new author, Dr. Kamasi Hill, wrote The Great Migration. I think this is appropriate for middle school. It's in my middle school library. And I was talking to a social studies teacher, and she asked me if I could order a class set of these because she said there's not a lot of information about this time period. So again, The Great Migration by Dr. Kamasi Hill. I mean, it's just really written in such a great way. And he writes this part. I like his language. He's young. He's such a pulse on hip hop culture and just on history. That's his PhD, and it's just a lot of really good information about the Great Migration when a lot of a lot of Black people moved from the South to the North. Great information in this as well. One of my favorite books actually from last year. This is Irene Latham and Charles Waters, and this is African Town. Now, Irene Latham and Charles Waters, they're a writing pair. Irene Latham is white, Charles Waters is Black, and they write together. And one of my favorite books by them is Can I Touch Your Hair? Poems about, race and culture and friendship, and just a really wonderful book, great way to start conversations, especially with middle schoolers, upper elementary, where there are questions and where, there are concerns. And one of the things I like so much about the book is that kids would read that book and then they want to talk to me about my hair because it's locked and it's just different from what they had. And, if we don't teach our students, if we don't teach children how to talk about race and culture, we can't assume that they will know. And so, I've kind of declared myself a safe space for my students to come to me with questions. And so that's what we do. But it usually starts around, oh, your hair is so pretty or your hair is so different. And we just kind of talk from there. Wonderful book. But this book, African Town, it is about the last slave ship that actually went to Alabama. There's so much news on this. There's so many articles and primary source documents that you can use with this book. The thing that I like about it so much is that every character, like, how can I say this? Let's just say this. It tells it from every perspective, even the ship. tells its story. So African Town by Charles Waters. This is a novel in verse. I had several of the 8th grade classes read it last year, and one teacher said it was her class's favorite book. The audible that goes with this, all the voices are different. It's just very well done. A beautiful, beautiful, haunting story. All right. Now, I talked a lot about Kwame Alexander yesterday. I'm going to talk about him again today because The Door of No Return just might be one of the best books I've read. So this book starts in Africa, and very rarely, I keep going out of the light, sorry, very rarely do we get a book that starts in Africa. A lot of people have this idea that, that in Africa, it was more like this savage way of living. There were communities and schools and families and crushes on girls and, and fighting with, other kids. It was just so normal. And he does a beautiful job of painting that in The Door of No Return as the story goes on. And at the end of the story, because I don't want to give it away, that's when we're introduced to the harsh reality of slavery. But right here, if you've never read a book about the family dynamics and the culture of Africa, this is the one. Fantastic book, so beautifully done. And then he followed it up with Black Star. So it is the sequel to The Door of No Return. And again, it picks up with, we're in the civil rights movement, same kind of characters a little bit. Just you'll hold your breath. You'll hold your breath at the end. You'll hold your breath at the end of this one, but you'll also hold your breath at the end of Black Star. I had the chance to meet Kwame Alexander and interview him in November. And they're just such powerful books. There is a third book that he will not send me, even though I've asked him repeatedly to please send me that third book, and I won't tell anybody what's in it. But just fantastic books. And again, please don't let February be the only time that you talk about African American authors, African American culture, African culture. These books are fantastic anytime. And so, I just wanted to highlight a few. There are many, but I just wanted to highlight a few to get that conversation started, to get you, maybe if you don't have these books, maybe you like to slide them into your library or into your classroom, or at the very least into your home. Read them for yourselves. That's the thing. And I'm really excited because The Door of No Return, I'm going to be teaching to 4 8th grade classes in the next week. I'm so excited to do that. So, reach out to me if you need some help or you just have some questions. I love to do this. I love to talk about books that, give different perspectives and just help us all learn, because we're always learning. And again, if this is what you're passionate about, if you're passionate about the learning, the growing, the developing, please join the SCEA. We'd love to have you. We'd love to pour into you, or really not pour into you. Let's pour into each other. Let's learn from each other, because that's what it takes. I hope you have a great day, and just reach out to me. God bless.
Together we learn, together we grow, together we heal, together we flow. Be cool, every teacher, every school. Be cool, every teacher, every school. Be cool, every teacher, every school.